What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Once again, we are talking about handbags in today's video. As Fashion Week comes to a close, I'm going to be taking us back to the runways. We're going to be taking a look at all the handbags that were shown by some of the top designers. We've got Chanel, Dior, Gucci, Celine, Bottega, you name it. Let's take a look at all of those bags. I'm going to be pointing out what's good and what's not so good, and also some of the trends that we are seeing for fall 2023. So if you guys want to hang out with me and talk about some handbags, keep watching. Do me a favor, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Sophia. I am a handbag addict, and this is my channel that focuses on all things beauty and luxury. Every single week I put out new videos focusing on luxury, fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. So if that is your jam, you definitely need to subscribe to our channel to join our fam, and you can also click the notification bell to hear about every time I upload a new video. Let's get started. Okay, party people, I'm gonna scooch over so I can insert some images of the bags that we're gonna be talking about today. And the first designer that I'm gonna be covering is Loewe. Loewe is having a moment right now, and I'm totally here for it. And you guys are gonna see a big trend, not only here at Loewe, but also across a lot of the designers that we're gonna be talking about today. And that is that big bags are back. Big, roomy tote bags just kind of slung over the shoulder on the Loewe runway. They featured this new bag. This is the Loewe Puzzle tote bag. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with the puzzle bag. Now Loewe is kind of doing a similar design, similar construction, but in a big slouchy tote style. I think this tote is so beautiful. I'm not even a tote bag person. I don't normally go for this style of bag, but I just love the look of this, the soft, sumptuous leather just kind of slung over the shoulder. I think it's a really elegant way to do a tote bag. We're going to be seeing a lot of these and a lot of the other designers coming up, and I feel like Loewe, I am kind of liking the way they did it here the best. The other bag that they feature a lot on the runway is their new Paseo bag. This one has a little bit more structure to it, but it's still kind of like that oversized feel. We're also seeing another new bag called the Squeeze bag. And this is also another larger, slouchier type of bag, except this one, I guess you could argue, is a little bit dressier with the chain strap. It's almost like the fabric and the leather has been squeezed down the chain. So it's a little bit of like a sack. I'm kind of thinking that maybe the inspiration for these larger, unstructured styles is kind of like going back to those early 2000s styles, the really big oversized bag. I was there in high school, okay, friends? I was a fan of the big bags, and in general, I think I'm here for this trend. I feel like the pendulum is kind of swinging back after we've had so many mini bags over the past couple of years. But this is just another example of how Loewe is kind of also doing another version of like that slouchy, unstructured type of look. Comment down below and let me know what you think of these newer styles that they are releasing. And then finally, the last style that I noticed on the runway are these really intricately, tightly woven leather. I guess you could call them basket bags or maybe bucket bags. I think that this looks so cute. The leather looks so good. This actually reminds me a lot of the bags that we're going to be seeing in a second at Bottega Veneta. So I wanted to point this out as well. This is kind of another trend that I'm noticing is like tightly woven leather. In general, in terms of the ready to wear across the runways, I'm seeing a lot of leather. I'm seeing a lot of sort of interesting techniques and uses for leather. A lot of like trompe-l'oeil sort of techniques where it looks like maybe wool, but it's actually leather. And I like the way that's kind of manifesting itself also in the bags like this one, where it's kind of meant to look like a basket, but it's leather. I'm here for it. Next up, we have Celine. I got a lot of requests to talk about Celine, and Celine had their show in Los Angeles this year. The clothes were sort of very edgy, very rock and roll. It was kind of like a tribute to indie sleaze. And as far as the bags go, we saw, once again, a lot of oversized totes. There's two different styles here that I saw the most. There was this style here that kind of has like the little belt in the middle, almost like cinching the bag. So there is a little bit of structure here, but also a bit of slouchiness as well. The leather looks really nice. This, I don't know, there's something about this that does remind me of those sort of like big totes from the early 2000s. I'm thinking of like, you know, Ashley Tisdale, Paris Hilton with the big totes, except this is done in a very Celine sort of way. There is like an element of, I don't know, kind of like French chicness to it as well. Like this model right here, she's got the hat, she's got the coat, she's got the boots. Like she does sort of have like an edginess to her, but it also is very classic and chic as well. We also saw this style, which it's hard for me to tell if this is just the same style of bag except with feet and a slightly different belt, or maybe the belt done undone. So this might be the same bag, but maybe styled in different ways. But once again, we're seeing a lot of these big oversized totes. And then with some of the more, I guess you could call them dressier outfits that were in this show, we are seeing more of like those little flat bags from Celine. I saw a couple of the little Triomphe style bags. I saw a couple of the little like quilted flat bags. So pretty predictable things that they've been selling for the past couple of seasons, some of their popular smaller bags, and then of course the larger bags. So interesting themes that we're seeing here from Celine. Moving along, let's talk about Bottega Veneta. I'm seeing a lot of really interesting leather work on the runways, as I mentioned before, and specifically at Bottega. I feel like this really showed in the ready to wear, and I feel like the bags were kind of just like almost like an understated compliment to the ready to wear. We saw a big continuation of existing styles, specifically in that intrecciato weave and specifically in that really tightly woven foulard style that they've been releasing more of lately, which also seem to have a higher price point. We're seeing once again some oversized bags, a lot of them in sort of like that bucket style, kind of slung over the shoulder. We're also seeing the sardine bag, which is one of the newer styles that they came out with, done in a couple of different ways. I saw this firstly with a leather handle, almost like it's kind of mirroring the bottom of the bag. And then we also saw some versions of this bag with Murano glass handles. Personally, I think the glass handles are absolutely stunning. I just don't know if the Murano glass, or maybe the colors that they chose, necessarily go with the leather. Like, I like the concept, but I feel like they could have maybe matched up the colors a little bit more. Lastly, we're also kind of seeing a double bag trend here. A lot of the models went down the runway holding two bags in their hand. None of the bags are actually attached or happen to be double bags. I think this was more of like a styling consideration, but I thought it was interesting. You know, maybe they're just upselling us on more bags and we should be carrying two bags instead of one this upcoming fall. I want to transition over to another trend that we're seeing. We're going to head on over to the Dior runway, where the ladylike bags are going strong. One of you on my last videos commented and you were calling this granny core. I've never heard of this, but basically like little ladylike vintage inspired, almost grandma bags. We talked about the Dior key bag last season. Well, it's back again. It's strong. We're seeing it in more colors right now. And I'm wondering if maybe this trend of kind of ladylike bags, maybe it is because we are kind of seeing a lot more classic styles on the runways. We're seeing a lot of suiting. We're seeing a lot of tailoring. And I see these types of bags being paired with those styles. In addition to the key bag, we're seeing a slew of other little sort of vintage inspired bags. I don't know what the names of these are. I don't know if these are going to be kind of like limited edition seasonal bags, but another trend that I'm seeing in addition to kind of like that little ladylike shape are exotic leathers, whether it is real exotic leather or it is croc embossed or lizard embossed. I'm seeing a lot of lizard on the runways this season and a lot of croc embossed bags, as you can see here from the many that were at Dior. We also saw the new 9522 bag in new colors and also in this really cute mini version. I've mentioned in some other videos, guys, I really like this bag. I actually was able to see one in person at my local boutique back home in Boston in the standard size, I think it is. And I thought it was super beautiful. Absolutely beautiful craftsmanship. Like the quality seems very, very good, but these bags are so expensive. They're about $6,000. So I am really curious how much these smaller versions are. If any of you guys know, definitely comment down below. I love it in this mini version. It's a little bit different. It's a little something different from the Lady Dior. I love the little mini size and I also really like the green. So I'm excited to see what new colors they come out with in this bag and if it is going to be coming out in more sizes. The last motif that we're seeing from Dior are these really pretty floral appliques. We saw this on the Lady Dior. We also saw this on some of the ladylike bags. I think there was also a DJoy that featured these nice little floral appliques. I think that they went nicely along with the ready to wear. I'm not necessarily seeing a ton of other brands do this, but I must say, I think that this Lady Dior with the floral appliques, it probably it might be my favorite bag that was in this collection, so I didn't want to mention it. To show a continuation of some of the trends that I've already pointed out, I want to show you guys some of the bags from Ferragamo. Ferragamo, they're a brand to watch out right now. I feel like they are rising in popularity. They're doing some really cool things, especially with their ready-to-wear. And as far as the bags go, like I said, a continuation of some of the trends I've already pointed out. We have this almost comically big shoulder bag. Like, this thing looks huge. Comment down below and let me know what you think of it. We're also seeing the exotic leathers right here with this oversized, I think this is a lizard satchel, pretty similar to the lizard motifs that we were seeing on the Dior bags a second ago. And then once again, we're seeing some of these like vintagey ladylike bags. We have a croc embossed one and kind of like a patent leather, very pretty and classic. And then this one was actually my favorite. This is kind of like a pyramid shaped bag with a really pretty, I guess, glass or resin handle. I thought that this one was pretty unique from everything else that I saw. And once again, kind of continuing with that ladylike trend. Heading over to Prada, once again, we've got granny core bags. Every single bag that was on the Prada runway, at least from what I saw, was this trapezoidal bag in a variety of colors. It's a little hard to tell if some of these are smaller than others, but it's a very simple trapezoidal shaped bag. Some of them have kind of like little flower or little like daisy motif embossed on them. I kind of enjoy the minimalism here. It does feel very Prada to me. I can't say that this would be the most functional bag for me. I can't say that this is necessarily my style, but I do like the way they paired these bags alongside the ready-to-wear for this season. Heading over to Fendi, we are once again seeing some of those woven leather styles. First with this cute little cream peekaboo, and then also with one of my favorite bags out of the bunch, which is this beautiful Fendi first bag. I don't know what it is, I just love the woven leather look with the Fendi first. This is probably my favorite rendition of the Fendi first that I have seen to date. We're also once again seeing some more crocodile and croc embossed bags, and then surprise, surprise, Fendi came out with a new tote bag. I can't say that these are super oversized, but they are a tote bag. This is called the Fendi Multi, and I can't really tell from the photos on the runway, but apparently I think you can wear this bag in a couple of different ways. I think you can tie it up and you get this more like geometric looking bag, and then if you untie it, maybe it's a little bit slouchier. I'll have to update you guys on that because I don't have a ton of information. Comment down below if you guys know. It kind of reminds me of like with the peekaboo, how some people like to keep it open and it has a little bit more of a slouchy leather effect, and then some people like to latch it up and it's a little bit more structured. And they did this once again in kind of the woven leather style. They also have some classic styles here with the Fendi monogram Zucca print. And then the last bag that we're seeing here, which apparently is also new, is called the Fendi Come On bag. Like, come on, we're going somewhere. Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the Fendi Come On bag, and this is an interesting little, I guess it's like a crossbody satchel. It looks a little bit equestrian in nature. I feel like we're kind of seeing some styles like this come about as well. And once again, we're seeing a lot of them with the croc embossing. So please comment down below, friends. Let me know what you think of this new tote and also this new little crossbody satchel style. Are these turning your heads? They're kind of just okay for me. If anything, I like the Come On bag. Like I said, I'm not a big tote person. I prefer more of like that minimalist looking Loewe style. Over at Gucci, we of course saw some oversized totes. Surprise, surprise. These, you know, they kind of look almost like the Gucci Jackie style. Maybe that's what these are, but in more of like a maxi size, perhaps. They're fine. Once again, it's an oversized bag. I would say what really dominated the Gucci runway are these long east-west style bags with the oversized horse bit. And then it looks like there's two different straps. One of them is a leather strap and one of them is a chain strap. Once again, a lot of them were croc embossed. If they're not crocodile, they're croc embossed. This to me, I don't know, I would love your thoughts on this bag from Gucci. I think for this season, if I'm not mistaken, they were kind of going back into the archives, pulling a lot of things out. I have to be honest, friends, I'm not a huge fan of this bag. There's something about that particular shape that feels like a very specific point in time. It feels a little bit dated to me. I know that we're bringing back a lot of styles from the early 2000s, but this to me really screams like early 2000s Coach bag. And I love Coach, but I definitely had some bags that were kind of this shape during that time. And it's just a shape that I think I want to leave it back in the early 2000s. I'm curious to see if there's any other brands that are going to kind of be going in this direction. I know that East-West style has very much been popular, maybe like the past year, the past 2 years. But once again, there is something about this style from Gucci that just feels a little bit dated to me. I'm gonna close things out, friends, with Chanel and Louis Vuitton. Starting off with Chanel, this collection was inspired by the camellia flower. And I have to be honest, friends, it was a little bit of a snooze fest. I really didn't feel like there was a ton of inspiration in this collection. I think there were some really pretty commercial wearable pieces, but other than that, it wasn't anything like particularly exciting. But I am going to show you some of the standout bags to me. We saw a lot of bags, surprise, surprise, that had the camellia flower motif, and the ones that I really liked were the ones that were very embellished. We have really beautiful sort of sequin encrusted embroidered ones that I thought were absolutely stunning. There's also this really cute tweed one with the little camellia flowers on it that I thought were beautiful. There's some other ones here that I can't even tell what this detail is. I think it might be rhinestones, maybe like embroidered gems or rhinestones on this one. Some really special ones. I'm sure these are going to be like price upon request style of bags. And then we saw like some simpler ones like this pink one. This one actually might be my favorite. I kind of like a nice patent leather, a nice pretty soft pink with the camellia flower. It's very classic, but there's something very special about it. Other than that, there were like a lot of black bags. There were a lot of little like top handle, again, ladylike sorts of bags. There's this really pretty patent red leather one. So a lot of very commercial classic styles, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think with the Chanel price increase, there probably are a lot of people that are looking for maybe something a little bit more classic to invest in. I think that these bags are going to sell very well, but I wasn't really seeing a lot of the trends that we are seeing from these other fashion houses really manifested in the Chanel collection. It all felt very kind of safe to me this season. And finally, friends, we have Louis Vuitton. And the focus of this show, the inspiration of this show, was supposed to be the question, what is French style? So these bags are supposed to be nodding to French style in some way or another. I feel like with Louis Vuitton, a lot of times what ends up happening is that their show bags are a little bit flashier than what actually ends up being in boutiques. So you have a lot of like really special, almost just for the runway bags. And maybe those styles or those motifs will be sort of referenced in what we actually see in the boutique. So I'm curious to see what ends up showing up in store with these bags, because some of them I don't really like all that much. Let's start off with some of the trunk styles. These are actually the ones that I liked the most. So we have this little sort of boxy bag. We've got the S-lock. We have a top handle. I actually really like this. We have the reverse monogram and also the classic monogram. I kind of like anything that is trunk styled, and I think that it makes sense that they're sort of referencing the trunk and kind of the heritage of Louis Vuitton. It is something very, I think is quintessentially French. In addition, we also saw this more slouchy style bag. This is actually one of my favorites. It does kind of remind me a little bit of the Loewe puzzle bag, and I really like the strap, which reminds me of the one that is on like the PM vanity case. I really like the sort of leather and hardware detail on that bag. Furthermore, we're seeing what I think is like a flat bag. I don't know if this is with the S-lock, but we saw this flat bag in a variety of styles. It's kind of a similar shape to the Pochette Métis, for example, or like the Celine box bag. We do see this style being pretty popular. Like once again, the Celine bags, they're gaining popularity again. So I kind of wonder if this is Louis Vuitton kind of coming out with their own like edgy version of that bag. I would love to know, comment down below. We also saw at least one novelty bag. Take a look at this. I think this is supposed to be the Louis Vuitton store in Paris manifested as a bag. Apparently this is what French style is, friends. I really don't know. And then we have these, what I think are horrific quilted top handle bags. I don't know, friends. I would love to know if you guys like these. I saw some people, I think it might have been on Purse Blog or Vogue, commenting and saying that they really like these quilted bags. I know that they did the red, white, and blue almost to represent the tricolor of the French flag. So there's some subtle nods here, but when I look at something like this, I don't really think classic French style. Comment down below and let me know. I think a lot of these bags are just okay, and some of them are actually, I think, a little ugly. Maybe controversial, but to me, I don't look at this collection of bags and think, wow, like that's what French style is. Lastly, they had one or two bags that also featured what I think is some sort of resin material. I thought this was really interesting. A little bit much. Once again, I'm not really quite sure what they're trying to reference with this specific bag. If you guys know, if you have more information, definitely let me know. But I thought that this was an interesting style that was shown as well. All right, friends, that is all I have for you today. Comment down below and let me know what you thought of these bags. What did you like? What did you not like? Also, what do you think of these trends for the upcoming fall season? Are you on top of the big bag trend? Do you like the granny ladylike bag trend? I need to know all of your thoughts. Also, comment down below and let me know what other kinds of bags and fashion videos you guys would like to see in the upcoming weeks. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.